This is Made for More Living with Johnny Jennings, powered by eXp Realty. Online at madeformoreliving.com.
So I have started changing the way that I drive to the radio station every morning.
Really?
Yeah, because I used to come and it would take me on the business 80 and then you just pop me off. And then traffic was getting bad, so I started rerouting to some surface streets. And I decided, you know what, I'm not going to do the surface streets anymore. I just don't.
Where are you going with this?
Like
I'm confused.
You don't like? Because what the surface streets that makes me go down, there's like miles and miles and miles of homeless people.
Oh, right.
And so part of me, it's a really weird like
because you see the RVs and the tents.
And the boats. Like what?
The
living
boats.
in a boat, like you know.
I don't think I've seen a boat, but is that a new thing?
There's at least two boats.
How do they afford an RV and a boat?
Well, I think they just drug it there and they said, "Hey, this boat is not floating, but it's staying on the side."
They
of the
saw
road.
on Marketplace somebody trying to get rid of their whole boat, and they're like, "I'll take it."
Yeah, I can
but
sleep
don't
in
you
the
have to
boat.
have a trailer as well for that?
Yeah, it's on the trailer.
So you're probably driving down like Roseville Road or Auburn Boulevard, and you're seeing this.
Yeah,
and it's just like it's not something you're excited about in the town that you live in, where you're raising your family.
Well, not only like it's just one, like these people need help. Like why are they not being helped?
Yeah,
is one thing, and then two, like it's kind of on them to seek out the help because there is a lot of help and resources out there. So it's this weird tug and pull between, why don't they help themselves and why aren't they being helped? And so, but anyways, when I'm driving down this road, all I can think of is, man, how do more cars not get flat tires right here? Because there is just crap everywhere. And so I'm like, you know what? It might take me a couple minutes longer, and I might be stuck in gridlock traffic, but I'm just gonna
stick on the freeway,
stay on the freeway,
and deal with angry road rage drivers who flip you off.
Oh my gosh,
that's a little bit easier to deal with than the homeless people.
I'll just stick.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'll just stay in my lane, and they can be mad, and but that's unfortunately, it's not just on that one road. Right? Squatting is becoming a thing.
That's what I hear.
Yeah.
It's becoming an increasing problem because of the economy, and there's some kind of loophole or issue with the law where squatters have realized the advantage that they have, that they are able to go into a vacant home, right? Tell me the situation.
It depends on the city, the county, all this stuff, but like it also depends on what the squatter thinks. Because there's a lot of people that believe, hey, I have rights. I'm just going to pop into this vacant house, and now they can't get me out. And that's not necessarily the case. So if you're a real estate agent or if you're a homeowner and you're wondering how you would handle the situation, my suggestion is, one, make sure you have the home well lit. Because what happened to us recently is we were selling this property, and it was in Sacramento. The Sacramento PD were phenomenal. No complaints. They were absolutely incredible. So it was driving down. It was a Saturday morning. The neighbor said, hey, the lights are on this vacant house. I'm like, that's not a good sign. So drove down. I was hoping the realtor that had shown the home previously just left the lights on. But come to find out, these two homeless people, the boyfriend had kicked the girlfriend out, and she was he'd kicked her out of the home that they were squatting in, ironically enough. And she was in the detached garage. And so we're talking to her and trying to figure out what's going on. And the cops showed up in like 15 minutes. They were really, really quick. And they were very professional. They went through, there was a lot of needles and drugs and stuff, so they got all that out of the home. And the home was still well maintained, like they hadn't thrashed the place. And so then we went back on the market. And then a week later, somebody broke in again. And then a week later, somebody broke in again. And so
is this home in a bad neighborhood where
it's in a more challenging neighborhood?
Okay,
yeah, definitely.
That's a good word. More challenging neighborhood.
Challenging, yeah. But what had happened is as soon as it had been identified as vacant, then all of a sudden the homeless people were telling their homeless people friends, and now people were going here. So what you want to do is you want to try to avoid that. And so some things you can do. Sometimes sellers don't want to do this because there are some costs involved. Is getting motion lights set up around the house so it just lights up like Fort Knox. And so that way it deters people from trying to break in if the spotlight is shining on them. You want to get security cameras, either real or fake, right, with the little red blinking light so they can't tell if it's real or not. That'll deter them. So a lot of deterring things. You don't want to, you want to make sure the trash cans are getting pulled in and pulled out every single week. Right, so there's just a little bit more work, a little bit more cost associated with this, but it's much better than having to repair damage done to your property by people that are squatting in there who don't really care, and then dealing with getting them out. You can put, if you have a for sale sign, because 10 to 15% of homes on average that sell because of that for sale sign.
Sure.
Like it's a little billboard in front of your house. You can put do not disturb occupants.
Oh,
right?
nice. That's a great
That's something
idea.
you can do. Or you just don't put the sign out. You say, hey, you know what? I don't want to deal with it. We're not going to put the sign out. But those are some things that you can do to maybe prevent that squatting process from happening. And again, you're going to have to check with your local regulations on what you can and can't do. But I would not be. So I was talking about some realtor buddies, and they were like, "Oh, Johnny, yeah, how'd you get her out? I thought she was going to be stuck in there. Good luck calling the cops." Like, you heard all these negative stories, and my experience was completely different from the narrative the news is saying.
Okay, got it.
So I wouldn't worry about being a victim. There's options out there, and there's people that are willing to help you with
Maybe
this.
it's rare where the squatters are really resistant and intent on, staying in the home and taking advantage of these legal rights that they feel like they have.
Yeah.
And taking advantage of this home. But there will be squatters, but usually in most cases you feel like calling the police will rectify the issue.
Call the non-emergency line, right? You don't want. I mean, if you call 911, they'll still help you out, but it's not.
It's not an
nobody's
emergency,
dying,
right?
And so call the non-emergency line and then get some help. But the best way to do it is prevention, right? The best way to avoid getting a chronic illness is prevention. And so the best way to avoid squatting issues is just making sure that there's lights, there's cameras, and either do not disturb occupants on the sign rider or no sign at all.
And if you're a new agent, or maybe you're a veteran agent and you're thinking, man, this Johnny Jennings knows his stuff. He's got a lot of experience dealing with this. That's just the tip of the iceberg. And you've got positions open on your team, right? Where you guarantee they're going to make good money if they join the Made for More Living team.
Yeah. No. So we've had agents, clear $20,000, like net $20,000 a month. But they're following the system. They're putting
your
in the
system.
Work. They're following the Made for More system,
right?
And they're putting in the work. They're not just showing up, drinking coffee, and cashing checks.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And so they can go to madeformoreliving.com to try to schedule an appointment, sit down with you, and see if they're a good fit for your team.
Yeah. Google us too. Check out our reviews and give us a call. Like we're here to help.
What else is going on?
Yeah, so in the wonderful world of real estate, I'm starting to hear more about this whole commission lawsuit. Have you heard about this?
No.
So basically...
Oh, this is that big realtor lawsuit, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was actually settled.
There's spin-off lawsuits, like it's an ongoing thing. But essentially, I'm having this conversation almost daily in living rooms because everybody has heard about it, but everybody has a different opinion on what is actually going on. And so just to provide some clarity and context, all that the ruling states is that you are not required in the MLS, you are not required to put the buyer broker compensation in there. That's all it's stating. So currently, in many parts of the country, that had already gone into effect a long time ago. In the Sacramento area, you just had to put $1 in there, like a minimum of you just had to put something in the field. Like it wasn't like price fixing like how the news makes it out to be. But they are essentially in July removing that field. So people are thinking, hey, that means I no longer have to pay my buyer's agent, or that means I can get reduced commissions somewhere. Absolutely, commissions are 100% flexible. But what we're seeing in states that have already implemented this, like a long time ago, is that people who are not offering buyer broker compensation, either publicly or privately, their homes are sitting on the market longer because affordability is a thing. It's really expensive to buy a home. And so if you're having to come up with the down payment, if you're having to come up with the closing costs for the loan, if you're having to come up with now paying your real estate agent 2-3%, whatever it is, there's no set fee, but whatever that fee is, that's a lot of money to now come out of pocket as a buyer. And so buyers are like, the homes are sitting on the market longer because they don't want to necessarily go with the listing agent. There's a misconception out there that, hey, if I'm buying a home and I'm working with the listing agent, I'm going to get a deal on that home. Maybe not. I can't speak to it 100% of the time. But what I can say is that if you're in that situation, you've essentially hired your spouse's divorce attorney to represent you.
That's a great analogy.
Right? So it's like, how do they 100% have your best interests in mind? And so, anyways, so that's kind of what's happening. There's not a whole lot of changes taking place. We won't even know how this shakes out. But so if you're hearing about the lawsuits and you hear about the commissions have not come down, commissions have not changed. They've always been negotiable. It's just how it's being displayed on the MLS is changing. And honestly, that's a good thing. Like you shouldn't, a buyer's agent shouldn't be able to shop, hey, this is paying me X amount of dollars and this is paying me less. I'm going to show the homes that are showing me more. That's not really giving transparency, and that's not doing fulfilling your fiduciary responsibility to your client. Like it should be blind.
Right. And if you're a realtor and you want more information on this, you can go to madeformoreliving.com. Or if you're thinking about buying a home or selling a home, Johnny Jennings and his team, they're going to give you all the information, because educating people is super critical and important for you guys. That's
the basis, because we do this daily, like helping people buy and sell homes. Most people sell a home, every 7-ish years, 7 or more. And so what has happened the last 7 years, there's been a lot of changes. And sometimes you forget about the process as a homeowner, and you don't have a clear picture. So what we want to do is we want to sit you down, go over the expectations. This is how the process works. This is how we net you more money. This is how we make the process easy for you. And here are the next steps. So then that way you know that we're professional. It's similar to walking into a doctor's office, right? You sit down, you fill out the questionnaire, and then the doctor goes over the things with you, and you trust the doctor because they know everything at this point. That's what we do with the clients. And the good news is that unlike a doctor, if we don't sell your house, you don't have to pay us. The doctor can give you a prescription or say, hey, take this, it'll make you better, and you're still sick. I'm
guessing this is the issue.
I'm guessing.
Hopefully this prescription will work.
Come back in 2 weeks.
But I can guarantee you're going to pay me the bill of what I've written out.
So you're only paying us if it works.
Right. That's great. And again, they can go to madeformoreliving.com, madeformoreliving.com. And what we like about you, Johnny, and your family and your whole team is that you guys are transparent. You're honest. And I think that's important for people. Whether you're a real estate agent, you're working as a broker, you're a vendor working with roofing, plumbing, whatever. If you're a client or someone that wants to sell their home, buy their home, you want someone you can trust, that's transparent, that's going to educate you and help you. And that's you guys at Made for More Living.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
So, hey, if you're listening to today's show and you're thinking about putting your home on the market, but you think, man, it's just not in great shape, I still need to do some more repairs, but I don't have the time or the money, Johnny Jennings has a fix before you list it program. He'd love to help you sell your home fast and for the most money possible. Just reach out to madeformoreliving.com, madeformoreliving.com.